Hello and welcome to Railroad Explained, where we talk about trains, their history, mechanics, and more. Today, we'll be talking about a famous type of locomotive. Although used by many railroads, we'll be talking about the one specifically from the railroad that pioneered the type. Our topic of discussion today is the Union Pacific Challengers. Before we start, I would like to adjust a few things. If you would like to skip this, please go to the timestamp marked below, so then you don't have to listen to this. But if you do wish to listen to this, then by all means stick around. First, I apologize for the lack of uploads. I've been quite busy and have lost all my previously written scripts, so I have to start over. So it will be a while, and the rate at which I make videos will be slowed down considerably. Second, I will be adding a disclaimer to all my videos from here on out, and any and all information can be wrong and as such should be taken with a grain of salt. Much of the sources that I use can very much be false, as much as I probably didn't want to. And for a third topic, this is a big disclaimer for those who always come to most railroading channels. A ridiculous amount of people complained in my 9,000 video about me using the word fuck. I want to make this clear. I want to make this channel more along the lines of Laser Pigs. So if you know his channel, then you all know this is not a family friendly channel. I will say fuck. I will say shit. I don't give a damn what you think, and it's not going to be family friendly. I'm trying to bring a different light to the whole railroading thing on YouTube. So that's that. Anyways, let's get on topic. The Union Pacific Challengers were born from the never-ending need for more motive power in the 1930s. Specifically, they needed something to conquer the Wasatch Mountain Pass. At the time, the strongest non-articulated locomotives were the 9,000 steam locomotives. However, they were very long and rigid, so they were limited to mostly straight or gentle curving tracks. On top of that, the third cylinder under the smoke box was more maintenance hungry than the fucking T-34's transmission. Yes, they were unreliable. Shut up. Although the railroads had other articulated locomotives at the time, they were best to helper service and weren't suited for hauling large loads at speed. On top of that, vast majority of them were still Malays, which are not the most efficient when it comes to their long distance running. With costs rising, UP needed a new locomotive. The brainchild behind what would become the Challenger was Arthur H. Fetter. He was a general mechanical engineer at Union Pacific and had helped design a few locomotives since 1918. Fetter suggested a high-speed articulated steam locomotive. Fetter had a long-standing working agreement with Alco and often worked with Alco engineers to design new locomotives. So Fetter went to Alco and they got to work. The engineers basically took a 9,000 and cut it in half. A new four-wheel trailing truck and lead truck, larger boiler, and firebox were added. Boiler pressure was increased, and they removed the third cylinder from inside the cylinder and added two traditionally mounted cylinders on the outside for the extra set of driving wheels. And so began the dick measuring contests of the railroads. On August 25th, 1936, the first Challenger, number 3900, rolled off the assembly line. Now for some specs. These specs are from a late model Challenger, so they could very much be different on an early model. However, I, as far as I know, do not know too much of a difference. The Challengers are a 4664 articulated steam locomotive of the simple type. So they are not compound locomotives. They do not use steam twice. They are a simple articulated. Engine and tender are combined 121 feet, 10 inches long, or 37 meters, and weigh a roughly 1,073,900 pounds, or 487,100 kilograms. 255 psi boiler pressure feeds 32-inch by 21-inch cylinders powering 69-inch drive wheels. They were built as coal burners and topped out around 70 miles an hour or 112 kilometers an hour. The locomotive immediately ran its first scheduled load from Ogden, Utah to Green River, Wyoming, running over the Wasatch Mountain Pass. 3900 will run unassisted at the top brass when pressed enough to order more. The name Challenger is thought to come from Fetter, who said that engine met the challenge, and it stuck. That could very well be false. Take a grain of salt with that one. UP would roster a total of 105 locomotives. They proved to be reliable and versatile. Challengers were quite agile for a locomotive of its size. They were mostly used over the aforementioned Wasatch Mountain Pass, as well as the infamous Sherman Hill. They also ended up being used in passenger service, and I will say, the smoke deflectors make them look damn sexy. Even though Alco built most of the engines total, Baldwin had built some 27 for the additional railroads that ended up ordering them. I'm not sure if any of these went to Union Pacific. I had doubts though. Now, there are two variations of the Challenger. Most people only know one because of fucking 3985. Literally every rail fan and a mother knows of fucking 3985. The first Challengers had the headlight on the smokebox door with a different cowcatcher and had more of a look of a fat Triple T6. In case you don't know, the TT-6 is the same locomotive class that 5511 was a part of. Later Challengers were built to more look like the big boys, which is why if you compare the two side by side, they are very similar. However, the Challengers had the number plate on the smokebox door versus big boys, which had it underneath the headlight. 3900 through 3939 would be the early version, or the ones that look like 5511, and everything after that will be built to late. Will be considered a late or heavy version. Several Challengers were converted to oil starting in 1945 and continued up to 1952, although this has met with some success, some not. The vast majority would remain coal burners. The last Challenger was delivered in 1944 and would be used well late into the late 50s and early 60s. All of them were built luckily before World War II, since during World War II, production ramped up massively and the railroads were a vital key supplier when it comes to the war effort. Out of all 252 Challengers built, across all the railroads who operated them, only 2 survive. Both are from Union Pacific. 3977 is on static display in North Platte, Nebraska, painted in the passenger livery with the smoke deflectors attached. Behind it is some coaches as well. 3985 was part of the Union Pacific Steam Program. She was restored in 1981 and made excursion runs to the UP system. However, rising mechanical problems resulted in her being pulled from service in 2010. With the restoration of 4014, she would be put into storage until 2022, when UP announced that they would donate her along with 5511 and some other equipment to the Railroad Heritage of Midwest America, who intends on returning both locomotives to operational service. On November 11, 2022, 3985 would begin its move along with 5511, a Centennial, and a bunch of other equipment that was all being donated to the Heritage. With high hopes for 3985, this is the end of the video. We'll hope you all enjoyed this one. I've been trying to go for this kind of format, and I personally think I enjoy this format a lot more. I really hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.